welcome to episode 4 of The Product Corner. I'm your host, Billy Tate, and it is my absolute pleasure to be with you today. We got a really good review in store for you, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. But first of all, I'd like to apologize on behalf of The Product Corner for the time since the last episode. We've been dealing with some family tragedies in the cast and crew of The Product Corner, and so we appreciate your patience. So with that being said, I would like to welcome the co-host of the show, Charles Kinder. And Charles, is there something you'd like to say to the people out there?
Grab your loved ones and hold them close, but hit the subscribe button a little bit.
For those that don't know, Charles lost his infant daughter, Tiasha, to a long battle with lupus. And I feel like I can speak on behalf of Charles here when I say we are very thankful to the Product Corner community, or the PCC as we call them, for coming to Charles's aid in his time of need. And so, Charles, is there anything you'd like to say to those people out there?
Sometimes lupus comes and lupus goes, but no one knows who will get lupus. It may be underneath your nose.
Okay, so on that note, we will close the sad part of the show, and we'll now go to the review. And this week, we are reviewing the Crane Plumbing B2 toilet, and I'm going to read some information about our product today. Toilets were first invented in the mid-17th century by a distant cousin of Maximilien Robespierre. We were not able to get the name, but we do know that it is a relative of Old Roby. And
this product placement will be brought to you by Ancestry.com.
That is a joke. We have no affiliation with Ancestry.com. They became commonplace following Ford's revolutionary assembly line, which really is a big deal in the toilet development situation. This toilet is a total beast, with gallons per flush upwards of 1.6, which is pretty astounding. I don't know how many toilet buffs we have in the PCC, but it's a good amount of GPF. The top of the toilet is missing, as you can see, and that is because it was stolen in a home invasion several weeks prior to the taping of this episode, and thusly there is a number that will be on the screen for anonymous tips. So if you have seen a top of a toilet and you would like to let us know, it would be greatly appreciated. And so that's a little bit about the toilet. And so, Charles, do you want to give your initial thoughts about this product back here?
Initial thoughts, great. You can use this toilet for, after you clean, after you cook, after you eat, after you bathe, before you bathe, between bathing, even if you have lupus.
Yes, and so there's Charles's initial thoughts. We're going to go to the field test now, which I had the pleasure of doing this week, and we're going to go to that right now.
Okay, time for the field test, baby! Let's see this baby in action.
Gotta look both ways before you cross the street, especially with the toilet. Okay, so part one, we're going to test the comfortability of the toilet, so we will begin that now. Initially, my thoughts, it's very comfortable. It definitely makes you feel like you're at home. It makes you feel like you're sitting down on your mama's toilet and that she just put some cookies in the oven for you and poured some milk. So it's very comfortable. So next we're gonna do the damage test. We're gonna see how this bad boy deals with the heat. You can see pretty rigid. The structure here is well thought out, and it's not even the lid here. Now we will see how it stands to a metal plank. As you can see, very little effect on the toilet. That's what you want in a toilet. All right, last but not least, we gotta cover lid fluidity. Gotta see how smooth this baby's joints are moving. So this top lid, you're getting some nice smooth action right here. This is as smooth as a baby's bottom. So now let's go to the inner lid. And this one is a little bit disappointing, if I'm being honest. Dealing with a little bit of resistance here. It's kind of fighting back against you a little bit when you go to lift it. Definitely not what you're looking for. This has been the field test! That was the field test. It was a lot of fun doing that one. We had a really good time out there. So now we're gonna get to the review itself for some insight onto what we really think about this toilet. Charles, I'd like to start with you.
Sure. So the great thing about this toilet is that you can do anything that you wanted to do with it, which doesn't necessarily include exactly what it is being used for. Unless, therefore, there is, although something that could be transversely, on a tangential adjacent to it, then obviously, of course, undoubtedly, there it is. So with that being said, exceptionally, absolutely, wonderfully, penultimate.
And I'm gonna go with penultimate as well. I think Charles and I are in agreement on this toilet. There's some things here to really like, and there's some things here that give me some pause and some concern. Most notably, the rigidity of the inner lid. This is something that's really important to me on toilets. You gotta have some nice fluid lid action, and I shouldn't have to take WD-40 to it to make that dream a reality. That should be something that is already a part of the toilet. So that's just one thing. I could name a few others, but for the sake of time, I won't. In conclusion, penultimate. There's undeniably some better toilets out there, but there are a high number of toilets that are worse than this one. So you're not doing too bad if you get yourself a Crane Plumbing B2 toilet. And so that concludes our review for this week. Charles, is there anything you'd like to say in closing?
One more product corner down the drain.
And tune in next week when we do something a little bit different here on the product corner. And I don't want to give it away at this time, but it'll be a nice little secret surprise. And I think that it will be not only a surprise, but a good one and a welcome one. So thank you for tuning in, and you subscribe if you enjoyed this review, and if you didn't, then you can go fuck yourself, honestly. And we'll see you next time on the product corner. Thanks for being with us, and until next time. This thing is, it's like if a toilet was made of titanium, but it is not. I believe it's ceramic.